Good afternoon, First Presbyterian Church family. I hope this finds you well on Wednesday, June 30th. This is not my typical Wednesday reflection, and I'll actually do one tomorrow. Though it's Thursday and July 1st and Canada Day, I will do that one tomorrow. Today, I want to talk to you about Back to Church 2.0. We returned to in-person worship on Sunday, June 7th last year. We may have been even the second congregation to return to in-person worship. Over the months that followed, other congregations in Grace Presbytery returned. I think the last of them that have returned to in-person worship did so on May 23rd. Pentecost seemed a good landmark to do that. I believe everyone in one shape or other is back to in-person. On this Sunday, we return to two worship services, 8:45 and 11 o'clock. As I said Sunday, I finally got used to saying 8:30, and now I got to switch back to 8:45. But that's when the first service will be. We will celebrate communion. Communion will continue with the cup and wafer combination for this month and for August. In part, July 4th, we're just getting back. It's going to take a while to get used to our patterns again. And August, I will be away. So September is our target date to return to the traditional communion service. Nevertheless, we will celebrate communion. Also, between the worship services, we will offer Sunday school. Now, some classes are not meeting at this time. Faith and Life, Geneva Fellowship, and Genesis will not meet in person. The discipleship class is being taught online by Steve Leake. He will continue to produce his lessons in advance and make them available, his lectures available to everybody, but he will continue to do that until Wilbanks Hall is fully restored and they're able to meet there. The following classes will be meeting here in our main building. In the inquiry room, the Crossroads class will meet. The inquiry class will meet within the Godly Playroom. Christian Fellowship meets in Crossroads. Today's Faith will be meeting here in the library, and I do not want to mess with the setup, so I've moved my production side over to work with what they have set up here. The high school class and the middle school class will meet in their respective spaces. First through fifth grade will be meeting in the toddler room, while the Little Lambs kindergarten room will be housing the 3s and 4-year-olds. This is a summer Sunday school format. I use that term deliberately because it's different. We are dividing classes differently. We're meeting in different spaces. This will continue indefinitely. I won't say indefinitely, for some months to follow. It will be some months before we go back to our regular Sunday school format, and part of that depends on the completion of the restoration of the Wilbanks Hall. We ask that you make a reservation for the worship service. For right now, the next several weeks, we're going to continue to distance people as we ease back into it. We will also be taking temperatures. We really, really, really need your reservation for Sunday school. These classes have been matched to their rooms based on projected attendance or possible attendance, and that comes from the Sunday school teacher. Our superintendent, John Cuswood, has been in touch with every Sunday school teacher, has gotten estimates. People have in advance said, well, this is the class to which I would like to attend. So based on our numbers, we have classes assigned. We want to keep everything safe at this time, and even if it means being a little cautious. So knowing who will be there will help. It may be a Sunday that a class has to be rearranged. We ask everyone to go through the main door that we've been using, the B door. That's the one that takes you straight to the hall by the sanctuary with the pastor's office, then further down, and Renee's office further down. We ask people to enter that door And there'll be a sign there letting you know where your class is meeting. Temperatures will also be checked for the near future. And for now, Bibles and hymnals are away, and we will continue to have the words printed in your bulletin. However, the seat cushions are back, freshly steamed and cleaned. So they will be there, and between the worship services, the two worship services, the pews will be wiped down. These precautions we see being retired in the months ahead, but for right now, we are just starting with some small steps. Two worship services, Sunday school is offered as well, and also we're going mask optional. We want to give respect for those who will continue to mask, as well as respect for those who, for whatever reason, are choosing not to mask. This Sunday will have a patriotic flavor, a little more songs. If you came to the May 23rd service or watched it online, you'll know what I'm talking about. July 11th, Ben will be giving us some special music. The hope and the goal is after that, throughout July and August, we'll have special music. We can't guarantee it every Sunday, but it will become the norm to have that in place. About mid-August, the choir will return to practice for those who are comfortable practicing, with the idea that in September, we'll once again hear our choir sing. I'm looking much more down the line, but October 3rd, Worldwide Communion Sunday, we anticipate having our church fellowship event taking place in the park. It'll be that afternoon in the park. We'll have the Vesper service, some playing. There may be a couple of precautions in place, but really we look at that as our first fellowship event back together. We really can't predict of the months following that. The Back to Church Task Force, in conversation with the session, do see essentially a return to many of our normal practices in the months following, in the days following October 3rd. There are no guarantees, and some things may not return until next year, when they would come up in the calendar. But again, that's way down the road. Right now, focusing on this Sunday and the next few Sundays, two services, 8:45 and 11 o'clock. Mask optional. Nursery is offered and Sunday school is offered. We ask that you make a reservation to help us project and placement and numbers. And we will continue to take temperatures, at least for the next few Sundays. And we also ask people to enter through the door back. It's got a big B on it. And exit out the sanctuary. Grace and space is the motto for this season. I said that in the email that I sent to the congregation. Some of us are eager for everything to be just like it was before March 8th, 2020. And some of us are a bit cautious as we return to past practices. And the truth is, it will be a process. It's easy to shut things down. It was scary when the session made that decision, but basically said, nope, not going to do it. And then initially thinking the lockdown, the slowdown would be a short-term process. The session only extended that by small segments. And that was fairly easy. The process just to return to in-person worship took a lot of hours of conversation. What are the best practices? What can we do? And I think part of the payoff is our model has been adapted by other churches who reopened in the months that followed. Much has gone into this planning. We seek to take into account the concerns of church members on both sides, and we seek to take the best advice we can get from the CDC and other responsible sources. This is very much a work in progress. Now, more than ever, we're going to need each other as we re-engage, reconnect, rebuild, and return. I want to return to these words from Colossians chapter 3, verses 12 through 17. Therefore, as God's chosen people, holy and dearly loved, clothe yourselves with compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience. Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. And over all these virtues put on love, which binds them all together in perfect unity. Let the peace of Christ rule in your hearts, since as members of one body you were called to peace and to be thankful. Let the message of Christ dwell among you richly as you teach and admonish one another with all wisdom through psalms, hymns, and songs from the Spirit, singing to God with gratitude in your hearts. And whatever you do, whether in word or deed, do it all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you, if not this Sunday, in the Sundays to come.